just to pick up a briefcase. Don't you understand what that meant to me? It meant no more burgers and fries. It meant that I could take you out to a real restaurant on a real date.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't care about money or what it can buy. I care about you.
And I care about you. Enough that I don't want you to have to sacrifice anything to be with me.
Do you hear yourself? You don't want me to sacrifice a leather jacket, but you are willing to put aside your own conscience?
No, I thought about taking the money back. But Frank didn't have any living relatives. I checked. And I'm not going to give the money back to the mob. They're probably the people that killed him in the first place.
I repeat, there was always the police.
Okay, all right, I should have given it to them. But I couldn't. Every time I would go to, I'd think about Brent draping you in that fur coat. Mary Lynn, I'm sorry, but I can't handle losing you to Brent just because he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth.
There's only one way he will ever lose me, and it won't be to raccoon coats or Brent Van Buren. You have to learn to trust me, Wade. Trust that I love you, not your money or your name or your job. You, nobody else. Any of this sinking in?
I'm not really sure. We better try that again.
First things first. How much of the money have you spent?
Barely a dent. Got a lot more where this came from.
That's my next question. Where's the rest?
Marilyn, don't ask me that.
No more secrets, Wade. You promised. Where are you hiding the rest of the money?
He's got a sore throat and a cough.
Marilyn, I can't tell you anything about where it is. Listen, I got myself into this mess, and I will get myself out without a scratch.
If you think that's going to reassure me, forget it.
Hey, I'll do the best thing with the rest of the money, okay? I promise you. Do you trust me?
Well, you don't make it easy, but I guess so.
All right, then let me handle it. Look, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about everything from the beginning. I won't do it again.
You're doing it right now.
No. Now I'm kissing you.
Wade, if you think you can distract me, you're wrong. We are talking about... We're talking about...
About what?
I forgot.
Well, you know, I don't need eyes to know that you're standing there like you were Sam Houston. You gonna talk or what?
I don't know what to do first. I mean, do I blast you for scaring your wife half to death, nearly getting yourself killed? Or do I say I'm ashamed of my own son?
Oh, thanks, Paul. I knew you'd come up with some words of comfort for me.
You want comfort? Hey, join the club, Clint, huh? Vicky needs comfort. Your kids need comfort. Hell, fire, your old man needs comfort. If you ask me, you know what you need? You need a good old-fashioned whipping.
Who asked you? Who the hell asked you? You know, there's some things that money and clout and intimidation just can't solve. Now, I know that's going to come as a hell of a surprise to you, but there it is. I'm blind, and I'm going to stay blind. And your money and power and ranting and raving aren't going to change that.
You think it's your blindness that's gotten to me? I can deal with that. I am sorry about it, Clint, but I can deal with it. But this coldness and unselfishness, I will not tolerate it.
I'm doing it for you, don't you understand that? For you and Vicky and the kids. You got your own lives to live. And You can't live your own lives as long as you spend all your time worrying about me. That's why I'm trying to put some distance between us. It's the best thing for everyone concerned.
Bull. That is bull. You're not thinking about us. You're turning tail and you're running. You're not thinking of this family. You're thinking about yourself.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I know you, Clint. Now, you have to start a whole new life over. You know, it scares you, doesn't it? Well, doesn't it? Oh, Clint. Look, I've been hard on you, but being kind, it isn't going to work with you.
You're being hard because you are hard.
We're not talking about me now. We're talking about you. I know how much you love this family. You have got to start thinking about Vicky and the kids, especially the kids, huh? Do you want them to have a memory of a pa who quit? A father who threw away their future because he didn't have the guts to deal with a handicap?
I hate that word.
Good, then chuck the word. Blindness is only because you think it is a handicap. You know, listen to this. This could possibly make you a better writer. Didn't hurt Homer. And wait a minute. It could possibly bring this family closer together. Stranger things have happened. Above all, it could make you a better man than you already are, son.
And what kind of man is that? What am I good for? What can I do?
You can do anything you set your mind to. But it's up to you, Clint.
Did it ever occur to you that I just might not be quite as brave and strong as you think I am, Paul?
You are a Buchanan, Clint. Now, Vicky is trying to keep this family together. She cannot do it alone. You had better decide what kind of a man you're going to be. And nobody can decide that. But you, Clint.
Come on in. Close the door.
No doubts about that test, huh?
The lab is certain. This contains a very highly concentrated form of TRA.
I knew it.
You gonna tell me where you got that?
Larry, I can't. Not yet.
Damn it, Cord. There may be a potential murderer running around here. Now, if you don't tell me, at least go to the police.
I plan to do just that, but there's something else I need to do first. Something equally as important, at least to me.
No, wait a minute. Don't go running around trying to play hero. You got a killer out there. Stay put. Don't move. Yeah, hello. Oh, hi, Vicky. Really? All right. No, that's all right. I'll be right down. Thank you.
What's the matter?
No, I have to go to Clint's room. You stay put. We got a lot to talk about later.
Yeah, how you doing? This is Cord Roberts. Could you put Kate on for a second, please? Hi, honey, listen, could you meet me over at the hospital? I'm in Larry's office. I need to talk to you. Yeah, you might say that it's serious. You might even say that it's a matter of life and death.
Hello? Larry, here.
Well, Clint, now that you got us all here, you're going to tell us you're going to put the covers over your head for the rest of your days?
Asa, he has something to say to us. Let's let him say it.
Larry, I suppose that Vicky and Asa have told you already that my first meeting with Mr. Milton didn't go all that great. But I'll try and make that up to him the next time we meet.
Did you say that? Did you say what I think you said?
Yes, I'd like to meet with Mr. Milton again as soon as possible. Tonight, tomorrow morning. I guess if I'm gonna get this family of mine off my back, I'd better find some way to deal with this little problem, hadn't I?
Wade, I hate to do this, but I have a seminar and I'm gonna be late.
Oh, well, just why don't you play hooky or something?
Oh, don't tempt me. I'll have a hard enough time staying awake during Western civilization, but I really have to be there.
All right, we'll just jump on the back of my bike and we'll be there in a flash. Come on.
Leonard, the Coleman kid has the money. I'm gonna tail him till he leads me right to it. And then I'm gonna zotch Coleman his little blonde cupcake. Breaks my heart, too. But she knows too much. These things have to happen. Oh, listen, Leonard, the kid's starting his motorcycle. I'm gonna tail him now, okay? All right, wish me luck.
Honey, I got here as fast as I could. What is it? Is it Clint? Is he okay?
No, he's fine. He's recovering right on schedule.
I don't understand. You said it was a matter of life and death.
Well, it may be, honey, unless we do something right away.
Will you please stop being so cryptic and tell me what's wrong?
Yeah. Honey, I've been trying to think of the best way to tell you this. And I think the easiest way is just to show you the evidence I've got.
Evidence? What are you talking about?
Do you know what this is?
Looks like some sort of chemical.
Well, it's not just any chemical. It's a chemical called TRA. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, it's a rare substance found only in the African jungle. What are you doing with it?
Well, I sure as hell didn't find it in the African jungle. Honey, your grandmother gave me a set of keys to Patrick's lab. I was looking around and I found this.
You did what?
Honey, now before you get all upset about poor old
I am
Patrick,
very
let me
upset.
tell
I'm
you-
furious. He said you came in there earlier looking for keys or something, but I can see it was just an excuse. You had no right to search his lab.
Honey, if you will just calm down for a second, I will tell you. Now, I went looking for something specific, and this is it. Larry Wolig's people here at the hospital have been testing your grandmother, and they have found traces of this in her bloodstream. She hasn't been suffering from some virus these past few weeks. She has had constant lethal dosages of this pumped into her system.
I'm making this up, and I really don't understand why.
Honey, it's the truth. All right? Now, there is only one place that you can find this substance in the African jungle, right? Which is exactly where Patrick has been for the last 5 years.
So what? Just because he has it in his possession doesn't mean he's using it.
Fine. You don't believe me? Why don't you talk to Larry about it? He will tell you that the chances of there being 2 vials of this stuff in the same town, let alone the same country, are at least 1,000,000 to 1. Now, I know it is going to shatter every illusion you have ever had about Patrick. But I'm telling you, it's time to face the truth. He is so desperate to win you back that he is willing to do anything, including poison your grandmother.
All right, Mr. Buchanan, we're back in your room now. Let's get you down. Okay. Get your robe off here.
Clint? Larry here.
Oh, get the results of the test back yet?
Hey, come on, you just got back to your room, man. We'll give you some time to analyze the results.
Oh, well, you know, I've done a couple editorials on hospitals and how they do unnecessary tests, run the bill up.
This was not unnecessary. It was stupidity on your part, running out of here trying to get hit by a
Sorry I
car.
brought it up.
Yeah? You want some good news?
Yes, I want some good news.
Gordon's available. The rehabilitation therapist.
Oh, the one with all the success at teaching blind people how to lead normal lives.
Yeah. We know it's not going to work, this therapy, without your cooperation. You got to keep a lid on your temper.
I'm ready and I'm willing, Larry. I want to get out of here. I want to get back to work and taking care of my family. When can I start?
Right away.
Good. I hope the fella is up to keeping up with me. Or is that being overly optimistic? Well, send him in and I'll test him.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello there. Hold it.
I was kind of hoping my kiss would bring a smile to your face, at least.
I'm sorry, Max. Just so tired of having to smile and I don't feel like it.
Uh-oh. More bad news about Clint?
Same old bad news. He's blind. And I don't think anything's ever going to be okay again.
Well, you need a break from all this. You know that? A little something to help you heal those wounds, something to help you enjoy life again. You sit down right there. Just a ticket. Maybe this will help.
You think Patrick is trying to poison my grandmother?
Honey, I'm sorry. I know that you are in shock right now.
It is absolutely ridiculous.
I thought so too at first, but look, it's right here in black and white in the report. Your grandmother's illness was caused by TRA.
I don't want to hear any more of this.
Honey, listen, your grandmother is sick. It's right there in her bloodstream. I found the poison in Patrick's lab. Come on, you've got to look at the facts.
The only fact that is important to me right now is your jealousy over Patrick. You couldn't stand to have him around, so you figured out a way to get him out of our lives.
Lord, girl, I thought you knew me better than that. You know, I don't operate that way.
Sure, I know you at all right now. Patrick is a brilliant, dedicated scientist. He has spent his life trying to find cures for diseases, to heal people. How could you think he would deliberately make somebody sick, especially my own grandmother?
I know how you feel right now.
You have no idea how I feel. All you care about right now is destroying Patrick.
That's a lie. Listen, when Tina came to me and told me about my mother, how sick she was, that she was trying to kill Vicky, I wouldn't listen to her, remember? But maybe if I had listened to her, my mother would be alive today.
Your mother was sick, and she thought she could get Vicky out of the way and have a happy life with Clint. She hated Tina, too. That doesn't excuse her, but it explains it. Why in the world would Patrick want to hurt my grandmother? It makes no sense.
You're right. It doesn't.
Look, what do you think? That he's sick, too? That he hates my grandmother the way your mother hated Vicky and Tina?
I don't know why he is poisoning your grandmother. All I do know is that he's doing it.
Look, just because you found the TRA in his lab doesn't mean that he was the one who was trying to poison her. Somebody could have gone in there and stolen it, just the way your mother stole the margin of toxicol.
Fine. If somebody did steal the poison, they would also have to have access to your grandmother, right? Well, Patrick London is the only one I know who's got access to both your grandmother and the poison. Honey, you better believe me, and you better start dealing with this before the police get involved.
You went to the police?
I haven't said a word to the police, but I told Larry about these things, and he knows what's going on, and he's forcing me to go to them. He says if I don't, he will.
You convinced him that Patrick's a killer?
No, I never gave him Patrick's name. I wanted to tell you about it first so that maybe you and I could both go to Rafe.
I am not going to Rafe because I don't believe it.
Fine. Then I will go to Rafe myself because I am not about to let anything happen to your grandmother.
Look, just...
Fine, if you want to believe Patrick, go ahead.
Just let me check out the possibilities.
I've already done that.
Please, give me some time. What's a couple of days if we know that Grams is protected? All I want to do is see if maybe there's TRA in somebody else's lab. Just please give me a chance to check it all out.
Okay, honey. But you better hurry. And believe me, I am sorry about this.
Yeah, right.
Just Kate. You told her about her grandmother?
Yes, and obviously she's not taking it very well, is she?
Well, I can certainly understand that. Mrs. Sanders is in a great deal of danger, and the sooner the police find out about it, the better.
I will contact the police. But please, don't push me, all right? What I'd like to do now is go see Clint. Is it all right if I go visit him?
Airline tickets to Paris? Max, these are for tonight.
Ah, what else would you expect of me, huh? And we're leaving in 2 hours, so you better get a move on. Okay? And I got this for you. You can go through and circle all the places you'd like to go.
Oh, there's only one place and one thing I dream about doing in Paris. Shopping.
Oh, now what would a trip to Paris be without some serious shopping?
Oh, and I'm talking serious shopping, Max. In fact, I think I'm going to throw out my entire wardrobe, everything that reminds me of anything bad, and I'm going to buy a whole new wardrobe.
Oh, whatever you want. In fact, there's a whole chapter in there on where to go and what to buy. Not that you need any help with that.
Max, this is like a fairy tale come true.
It is going to be a fairy tale. And you don't even have to bother packing. You just get your passport, and then we'll be on our way. We'll get everything we need there in Paris.
Paris. Bonjour, madame, bonjour. Paris. Max, I can't go. I can't go to Paris now.
Hello, Mr. Buchanan.
I thought I knew all the nurses on this floor, but I sure haven't heard your voice before. Would you hand my robe to me?
Sure. Catch.
What the hell are you doing?
Tossing you your robe. It's at your feet at 12 o'clock.
You know, even as a kid, guessing games never appealed to me. Now, where the hell's my robe?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted to start helping yourself.
What did Larry do? Put a note in my chart that everyone was supposed to start giving me a hard time?
No, but he is anxious for you to be self-sufficient, as you claim you want to be.
Obviously, you're new on this floor, but I still can't believe that you weren't warned about my temper.
I've heard all about it.
Well, you're about to witness an example.
Have you ever flown a plane?
What?
Have you ever flown a plane?
Once or twice with my brother. Why?
Well, I want you to use that cockpit experience right now. Now listen to what I'm telling you. Your robe is at your feet at 12 o'clock.
I get it. You want to get out of nursing and get into therapy.
I already did. I'm Gordon. Sarah Gordon, your therapist. Didn't Dr. Wallach tell you anything about me?
Yes, he said you were some hotshot therapist with a lot of success.
Oh, so naturally you expected a man.
As a matter of fact, I did. And someone a little older. You know, from the sound of your voice, you haven't been out of college all that long.
That's the second time you've mentioned voices.
Yeah, well, I can't see, you know what I mean? So I listen to things like voices a little more carefully than a normal person.
That's terrific. You know, that's a big step towards your adjustment, learning how to depend on your other senses.
Oh, what's that, a little pat on the head?
No, just a little observation. See, I don't pat my patients on the head very often. It makes them feel more like kids than adults. And I'm very honest with my patients. I can be a little rough sometimes, but in the long run, I found it's best for everyone. And besides, it's the only way I know how to deal with people. And from my research, I've learned that you're a very honest, upfront person yourself.
Research? What kind of research did you do on me?
Well, I've talked to some of the other doctors on the floor and read your bio. Of course, I read your newspaper every day. And recently, your editorials, which have given me quite a bit of insight into you, Mr. Buchanan.
Really? Well, then you ought to know that I'm very much a hands-on type of fella. I like to do things. I don't like just talking about doing things.
I'm going to give you plenty of action, all right. You see, here in the hospital, the rehabilitation program is a three-step...
Wait a minute. I'm not going to be here that much longer. A couple days at the most.
I know. Dr. Wallach told me. Well, we'll continue with your therapy at home.
Oh, where I can be a whole man again? Live a normal life, even though I can't see?
Nothing's impossible, Mr. Buchanan. But you know, this therapy is going to take a lot of concentration and determination on your part. Yeah, there are going to be frustrations. But if you hang in there, if you don't give in to your anger and your despair, you can jump those hurdles and eventually you...
Miss Gordon, I'm sure that you give this little lecture to everyone you work with, but I don't need to hear it. Now, I'm well aware of all the frustration, and I'm prepared to handle it. Doesn't keep me from being angry at the situation.
Well, of course not. Everyone who's blind feels that way.
Everyone is not my concern. Now, I have two choices. I can mope around the rest of my life and feel sorry for myself, or I can learn to live with this situation and not be a burden on my family. So I have decided, I've made up my mind to live with this thing. And therefore, I do not need to be treated with kid gloves. And I just as soon not hear any stories about old patients who overcame their lack of sight and took up mountain climbing or something like that. I don't need any inspirational sermons. I know exactly what I want to do. All I need from you, all I want from you is some instruction on how to do it.
What exactly did you have in mind?
Well, these are my priorities. I dictated them to a nurse, and I had her write them down for me. I figure we'll just start at the top of the list and work our way down.
Tina, we're only talking a couple of days.
Yeah, but Vicky needs me, and so do the kids.
Well, listen, you need a vacation. I mean, you've been through all kinds of horrors these past few months. Vicky would understand that. As a matter of fact, I am willing to bet that she would think a trip to Paris for you would be a wonderful idea.
Well, of course she would, because that's the kind of person she is. But I'd feel like I was deserting her right in her time of need, Max, and I can't do that to her. I mean, she's always been there for me.
Honey, she's got what? She's got Kim and Heron and Lord knows how many servants out there, and Wanda and Gilbert and all of her friends. Can't they take over for you for a little while?
It's not the same as having me there. I mean, with me there, she can scream and she can cry and she can throw things. It doesn't matter. I mean, she can work out all that frustration she's got so she can deal better with Clint's anger and frustration.
Well, why can't she get that from Cord or Asa or Wanda?
Because they're so strong. Everybody knows I'm not strong at all, so she doesn't have to worry about appearing weak to me.
Oh, you do have a point there, don't you? Every time I get near you, I get weak in the knees.
I'm being serious.
Oh, yeah. You know what? The old Tina would have said to hell with everyone and gotten on that plane to Paris no matter what.
Don't remind me. Don't tell me what an awful person I used to be.
Hey, past doesn't matter. It only counts what you are now. And if you want to stay here and be with Vicky, that's fine.
Oh, I just hate to disappoint you like this, though. I mean, I know how bad you wanted to go and how much trouble you went to.
It's no problem. We'll just hang on to the guidebook and the tickets. We'll do it some other time.
Are you sure you don't mind?
I'm sure.
You know, thank you for being so understanding.
Well, I'm just here to make you happy.
Oh, it was such a wonderful idea to take me to Paris. And I love you for thinking of it.
Oh, well, you better prepare yourself, lady. See, you stick with me, it's going to be one happy surprise after another, and that's one promise I intend to keep.
Pipeworks builds real toys kids can play in and ride.
You know, seeing all the excitement we've had in our life lately, I don't know, maybe it's time for us to contemplate a life that would be a little dull and predictable.
You know, you couldn't be dull and predictable if you tried, and I don't think I would really care to be. It sounds like a fate worse than death.
I don't know. I've been close to death on a number of occasions, and I'm not so sure about that.
And that's all behind you to even get that in your mind.
I wish I could believe that. You know, last night I had this terrible dream that Jamie was coming after me in Landfair. That he was going to try to kill me, and I could swear I heard him pacing, and then I realized it was Vicky, and she was worried about Clint.
Hey, you don't ever have to worry about Jamie again. Now, he's in that prison upstate. After what happened at Statesville and all the trouble Warden Perkins got into because of that prison break, the only way Jamie's ever leaving a prison again is in a box.
Oh, I know, you're right.
Oh. You just trust me,
I do.
Ooh, you do. You know what? I've never been one for making plans.
Well, it seems like we made a lot of plans, and we were going to run away to another country together.
Well, that was a bit of an emergency, but on the whole, I like to play things by ear.
Well, that might be a good idea, see, because most of my plans always end up a disaster anyway.
But I think I have this terrific plan, and I think you're going to like it.
Oh, and what is that?
Well, number one, you're going to learn how to enjoy life again.
And?
Number two, I like this. Number two, we're going to learn to enjoy it together. And number three, we are going to learn to do it right now. Tim, you're gonna have to let go. I mean, let go of the past, all the pain, all the sorrow. It's okay to be happy again. And it's okay for us to love each other. Hmm?
I know you're still here. I felt you get up off the bed.
I was just reading your list carefully.
What's wrong? Didn't the nurse print it clearly enough, Wayne?
Oh, no, I can read it.
Well, then how long is it going to take for me to accomplish all those things?
Mr. Buchanan.
I'll tell you how long you have. You got about 2 weeks, 3 at the outside.
This list of priorities is, really quite extraordinary.
Extraordinary? Oh, I get it. You mean it's ordinary for a normal person, but extraordinary for a person like myself. Well, I can accept that. But let me tell you, I'm going to be back at my desk at the Banner within 2 weeks, with or without your help. Now, can you handle that?
Well, when you make up your mind to do something, you certainly just bowl right on ahead, don't you?
Well, it's always worked for me before. I don't see any reason to change now.
I'm not asking you to change. I'm just asking you to slow down a little bit.
Slow down? Dr. Wolick has been on my back to get out of this depression. Take some positive steps.
I know he has, and I admire your determination. But this is not the way I work. You see, I believe in teaching the primary tasks first, and running a computer hardly fits into that category.
I see. A couple of months ago, we did a piece in the science and technology section on state-of-the-art computers. You talk to the computer, and it prints the text. Now, there's no reason why I can't learn to run one of those things. I'm going to call Mr. Briggs.
Mr. Buchanan, could we just take first things first?
I thought the whole idea of this therapy was to teach me to live as full a life as possible.
It is. But if you have any hope of achieving that goal, then you have to start with my list of priorities.
Your list? What's on your list?
To be completely self-sufficient, not dependent on anyone or anything, including machines, no matter how state-of-the-art they might be.
What's on your list? Using the telephone, learning how to get around the city, things like that?
Yes, things like that.
Who's there?
Your dinner's here.
Oh, great. Could you put it right here, please? Thank you.
Where's Vicky? She usually helps.
I want you to learn how to do this yourself.
Larry?
Oh, hi, Ted. Go ahead.
I just looked at Clint Buchanan's new test results.
Any surprises?
I'm afraid so. Do you know Mark Benson?
Yeah, he was associate chief of neurology here a while ago.
Yeah. I asked him to consult on Mr. Buchanan's case. I hope you don't mind.
No, of course not. But if you feel necessary to bring in Benson, what do you suspect?
Why don't you read the test results first, and we'll compare assessments. You'd better cancel Mr. Buchanan's release from the hospital in case I'm right.
Oh, boy, he's going to go through the roof on that. If you feel it's necessary.
Yes.
Let me check this out.
Tetracycline hydrochloride, tomatin sodium, TRA. Okay, so he has it in the lab. But he hasn't used it in any compounds. It's not mentioned anywhere else, so what does that prove? Nothing, except that Patrick has access to TRA, but that's all. It sure as hell doesn't prove he had anything to do with Graham's illness.
Kate, what are you doing here?
He scared me.
You should have called, told me you're coming. How long have you been here?
Oh, not for long.
Long enough to go through my lab books, I see.
Well, curiosity got the best of me. I was dying to know what you've been doing with the burn formula, you know. It does have my name on it, after all. I see you've added a new chemical to it.
Yeah, I think it's going to stop the problem of the side effects.
Not going to try it out on yourself again, are you?
Did you, really come down here to check on the burn formula?
Oh, well, there was another reason. I thought maybe you'd want to take a break and go on and get a sandwich with me. It's been a long time since we've shared a super deluxe hero together.
Yeah, it has been. So why tonight?
I just had a lot of free time.
Katie, why don't you just cut the bull and tell me why you're here? I mean, suddenly my lab seems like a very popular place for uninvited guests.
Patrick.
See what I mean? Luther, anything you've got can wait until tomorrow. I'm busy right now.
Patrick, it's my unfortunate duty to inform you that this lab is being turned over to other research.
On whose orders? And where am I supposed to work?
Well, your services are being terminated.
Well, you're going to fire me, Luther? You can't fire me. This formula I'm working on is going to make this company millions.
The board of directors met earlier today and voted to shift the responsibility of the burn formula to another team of researchers.
Luther, you can't do that. That formula is mine.
The memo is self-explanatory. If you have any questions, I suggest you address them to the legal department. The new team will be just starting first thing in the morning. So could you please have your personal belongings out by midnight?
At this rate, a man could starve to death.
Come on, don't give up. You know, you're making a lot of progress.
Progress? It took me 10 minutes to butter the bread.
But now you have it buttered.
It doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
I've got a full staff at home, damn it. If I need more, I'll hire them. They can help me.
Help you? Help you? Is that really how you want to spend the rest of your life? Do you really want people fussing around you all the time, worrying about what you can and can't do? Do you really want people rushing in to dress you and feed you, lead you around from room to room? And what about your children? They'll be required to
Oh, that's another
help
thing.
you
That's
also?
another thing. My kids can take better care of themselves than I can take care of myself. How do you think that makes me feel?
It makes you feel bitter and angry and impotent and worthless.
You got the picture.
But you don't. Not yet. You see, Mr. Buchanan, you have to learn a lot of the same tasks that your children had to learn. And yes, there will be frustrations.
I don't need any more of this Mickey Mouse stuff.
This Mickey Mouse stuff is important. Unless you don't care about being completely independent. Is that it, Mr. Buchanan? Is that what you want to be? Helpless?
I got the chemical past Patrick. I went over to Larry's. He put the stuff in the lab, they analyzed it, and they confirmed it being TRA.
Did you tell Larry where you got the poison?
No, I didn't. But I did tell Kate the whole story.
Of course.
Elizabeth, she deserves to know the truth.
Where is she now?
I don't know. She stormed out of the room. She was very upset with me for even suggesting the idea that maybe Patrick could do such a terrible thing. She doesn't think he's that dangerous. I don't know. The only way I'm going to be able to convince her is if I can come up with Patrick's motive. Come up with a good reason why he is doing this to you. And frankly, Elizabeth, I don't think I've got one.
Well, I explained all that to you.
Yeah, I know you did. And to be honest, I'm having a little difficulty accepting it myself, so I don't know why Kate should.
Well, I don't know why it should be so difficult to understand. Patrick has made no secret of the fact that he's still in love with Kate, and that he still intends to win her back.
Yes, that's true, Elizabeth. But the fact remains that Patrick is still slowly and methodically trying to poison you, or we assume to death, but we don't know. I don't see how that fits in any part of a plan to win Kate back.
Men have killed for less, my dear, including my grandson.
Maybe we better just call Rafe Gerritsen over at the police department and ask him to help us out with this.
But you said you wanted to gather more evidence.
Yes, I do want some more information. I was hoping you would be able to give me something so I could piece this together. But you're not giving me anything here, Elizabeth, so we might as well turn it over to Rafe, because I am not about to let anything happen to you or Kate, all right?
No. You must not reveal any of this to the police.
I think we ought to tell the police for no other reason than to get you some protection, Elizabeth. I don't know what else I can do now. I need more facts. Unless, of course, there is something that you haven't told me yet. Elizabeth, what is it that you are not telling me?
Absolutely nothing. I've told you everything I know about this horrible situation.
Then why did you object when I wanted to call the police?
Cord, if the police become involved, the news will leak to the media, and the publicity could destroy my company. After all, I have an obligation to my stockholders, as well as to Kate. She's my only heir now, and she could lose a fortune.
Well, I think, given the choice, she would rather lose the fortune than lose you.
She'll never lose me.
So what are we supposed to do? Just forget about the fact that Patrick is poisoning you?
No.
Just because you're a damn company?
Of course not. I just think that we shouldn't involve the police until we have more evidence to back up our accusation.
Fine. So, where do we go from here?
I'm not at all sure. But whatever you find out, whatever information you discover, I want you to promise me that you'll continue to keep Patrick from trying to win Kate back. We must protect her from him at all costs.
So you say you have no idea about this board meeting, huh?
Patrick, this is the first I've heard of it.
Oh, come on, Katie. You're supposed to be a big honcho around here.
Well, I thought I was, but obviously I'm not. If I had been there, I never would have let this happen. You've got to believe me.
Yeah, it all makes sense now. Elizabeth didn't want you there because she knows you would have fought them, and you'd have probably won.
I'm not sure my grandmother had anything to do with this.
Oh, come on, Katie. Take off the blinders, will you? Luther would have never made a decision like that without the approval of your grandmother.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Boy, she must be just laughing up a storm right now at the mansion and her clever knife job. And she skipped all the preliminaries. She just went right to my heart. She knows that work is the only thing that I give a damn about.
Please, take it easy. Please calm down. Just give me some time with her. Give me time to reason with her.
You might as well just fly to the moon.
No, look, she listens to me. She doesn't agree with everything I say, but I'm pretty good at getting her to change her mind, and I'm sure I can do it. Look, my name is on the burn formula as well as yours, so I should have something to say about it.
Just don't waste your time or energy, Katie.
Patrick, I am not going to let this happen to you. It's just not fair.
Fair? Fair? Your grandmother doesn't give a damn about being fair. All she cares about is money and power. And she's willing to do anything to get it. And if that means she has to cheat and steal to do it, then that's exactly what she was going to do.
Now, just wait a minute. I am upset about this as you are, but that doesn't mean you can go around accusing my grandmother.
Your grandmother has been trying to steal that formula from me for years, Kate. You have no idea what your grandmother is capable of. She's in a class with your brother, Jamie.
I was about 10, 12 years old at the time, and I was out at the corrals watching the cowboys work with some unbroke horses. And my dad rode up madder than a hornet because one of his top bronc busters had run off with a waitress from the Dairy King. And Pa had contracted to sell 6 horses by the end of the month, but they had to be broke horses. So I piped up and said that I'd do it. Well, he just looked down at me and laughed and said he figured that I better stay with the gentle stock a while longer before I start working with the broncs, that breaking horses was a man's job.
But you felt like it was a put down?
I thought it was a challenge. And I thought I was man enough to do the job, and I decided to prove it. So when he rode off, I caught up one of those horses and got a saddle on him, and then I got in it. That pony took about 2 jumps, swapped ends, and unloaded me. I mean, he stuck my head in the dirt. And it hurt so bad, made my eyes water. But I got back up and I got back on him. And you know, at the end of 3 days, that horse would stand when you got on him, turn both ways, and he knew what whoa meant. And Pa saw him at the end of a week. I still had a hitch in my get-along, but the horse was moving real good. But the look of pride on my daddy's face when he saw him, well, it made it all worth it. I mean, it was awesome. Anyway, I kind of figured that with this little predicament I'm in, that it's kind of like having another unbroke horse on my hands. And I'd like to tame him. Only this time not to get my daddy's approval, but, well, I'm the head of my family, and I'd like to feel that my responsibility was to not only take care of my family financially, but also